Hi everyone, it's Ellen from Classroom Unbound, and I just wanted to give you an update on the books that I read during the month of January. So the first book I read was Love and Gelato. Hopefully you can see that with the glare. And it was recommended to me by one of the girls who babysits my kids. She's a teenager. And so it's a YA book, and it's about a girl whose mother dies, and she didn't grow up with her father, doesn't really know what happened with him, and she ends up going to live with him. That was like her mother's dying wish. And she spends time in Italy, and she has her mother's diary, which her mother had during the time she lived in Italy. So she explores Italy and the relationship that her mother and her father had in the book. So I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was a pretty cute book, and I also enjoyed Googling the places that she visited and wherever her mother went. So I kind of felt like I was right there along with her. So cute book, I liked it. The second book I read was Ice Whale by Jean Craighead George, and she also has My Side of the Mountain. That was her award-winning book, and we read this as part of the Build Your Library January Crate book, and this was our read aloud for the month. We started some other books, but we haven't finished those yet, so I'm not counting those as our January reads. But this one was about a whale, Siku, and it kind of goes like about 200 years through his lifespan, so generations of families, Eskimos in Alaska, who had a relationship with him. And we thought the book started out really great. We liked it, but toward the end, we didn't really like how it ended. But and I don't know if that had to do with the fact that Jean Craighead George started writing the book, and then I think her sons finished it. So I'm not sure if she finished it or if they finished the writing or how it was edited, but we liked it up until the end. So, but I would still suggest reading it because it was really interesting, just understanding their relationships with whales and how they treat them and how they use them and use every single part of them and how they live off the land. So I think that was our favorite part overall. The third book that I read was The Smell of Other People's Houses, and this was also a book that was included in the January crate of Build Your Library. And this book I read on my own, and again, it was about Alaska and teenagers there, and there were a few teenagers, so basically every chapter switched the point of view, and I really liked this one. I couldn't put it down. I don't even know how to describe it, but again, I liked the fact that it was about Alaska, and I don't really know anything about Alaska, so I learned a lot about the people there and natives and Eskimos and the relationship, and how they felt when Alaska became a state, and I just thought it was really good. So definitely check this one out. So those were it for the fiction books that I read for the month. And the nonfiction books that I read, the first one was You Are a Badass: How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life. And this was recommended to me by one of my mentors a few years ago, and I just haven't had time to read it, or haven't made time to read it. But I really like this one. I think it was a good motivational read for me. So I would recommend this too if you're needing some motivation in your life. And she kind of describes like how to basically create the life you want, stop making excuses and all that. And I really enjoyed reading this so much, I ended up reading her next one, You Are a Badass at Making Money, because who doesn't want to make money? So, and I got this one at Target, but again, it was basically along the same lines as the first book, but just had more of a focus on making money. So, you know, if you're interested in creating the life you want and making money, then read this book. And the last book that I read was, I read it on my Kindle, and it was called How to Retire Early, Your Guide to Getting Rich Slowly and Retiring on Less. So after I read the You Are a Badass at Making Money, I just continued on with my focus on money and read that book on how to retire early, because that is a goal of ours. So that book I really enjoyed too. It was just It's written by a husband and wife, and it's basically their journey on how they retired early, and I took some good notes on there, and some of the stuff that I can apply to our life. Some of the stuff I can't right now because, like, for instance, during a part of their journey on retiring early, they were making six figures, and that's not where we are right now, maybe in the future, but I can still definitely take notes on stuff like how to budget and how to focus your investing and retirement contributions, and just different suggestions on how to live your life so that you are spending money that is spending money on things that is still important to you, but not spending money on things that are not important to you. Like, for instance, if eating out is very important to you, then you can spend money there, but cut out maybe buying books and just go to the library. For our house, travel is important to us, so we will continue to travel, but we can cut down on eating out while not traveling. So I really enjoyed that book and definitely recommend it if you are looking to retire early or just getting on track with your money. Those are the books that I read for the month of January. What did you read? If you read something interesting, let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.